Hello all, and welcome to tonight's beer review, which I am dubbing the Redo Beer Review. And this is like the first time I'm actually going to redo a review that didn't end early for technical reasons, because I actually wasn't very happy with the quality of the review that I did for this beer before, mainly because I had eaten chili a little while before that I did the previous review, and I feel like I didn't give the beer the full consideration that really deserved. So, I only got one more chance to do this, so let's hope there's no technical difficulties this time around. My nose is clear, my palate is open, and so we are going to be reviewing Beer Cramp Across America 2016 Moxie Moron Imperial Session IPA. This is the one from Pacific Northwest part of Collaborative Brewing, and Balebreaker Brewing Company, Barley Brown's beer, Black Raven Brewing Company, Melvin Brewing, Odell Brewing. Of all those brewers, I've only heard of one, and of all those brewers, none of them distribute to Hawaii. So, Moxie Moron, well, because like oxymoron, Imperial and Session sort of are a contradiction in terms. Imperial being high ABV, Session being low ABV. Of the oxymoron, this definitely goes in shades more towards the Imperial rather than the Session at 7.5 ABV and quadruple hops. So let's read the label. Hops are the stars in this Imperial Session IPA, brewed with intense Yakima Valley hops and featuring vivid hop aromas of citrus, berry, and bright tropical fruit. The city of Moxie, Washington is in the heart of Yakima Valley hop growing region, and this Imperial Session IPA, a style contradiction, honors the Pacific Northwest's hop bomb heritage. Moxie Moron features hops in the mash, the kettle, the hop torpedo, and the fermenter for ultra-complex hop aromas and flavors in an ironically named package. So when I was doing that failed review before, even though I was a little bit stuffed up, as soon as I opened the thing, boom, big hop aromas just flew into my face. You can't get more hoppy than this, folks. So, shall we? We shall. When you open it up, you can smell the hops from the table. Okay, bit of a good pour here. This is a lovely golden yellow color. I had to replace my light bulb, so it looks a little bit darker here, but it's golden yellow. It's a yellow light that I have now. My old bulb burnt out. Very clear, no clouding whatsoever. Nicely carbonated, with a fluffy white head. Hey, I know a way I can prove it to you, see? Well, maybe. But you can see from here. I need a way to go and do this better. Okay, nose. Big tropical fruit. Got limes. Got that nice passion fruit flavor, that passion fruit smell that I smell. The tropical fruit to me always smells like passion fruit. Some mint notes. Definite like blueberry almost. Not much dankness, definitely no resiny notes. No pine notes either, and actually very low on that sort of grapefruit note that you sometimes get in quite a few IPAs. Fairly thick on the palate. Pretty intensely hoppy, I have to say. Mid-palate into the finish is just dominated by hop bitterness. that just kind of hangs on your tongue well after you swallow. In the front, you have like this nice juiciness to it. More of a berry-like juiciness than I would say a tropical fruit juiciness. While there's little in the nose of that grapefruit note, there is that sort of citrus rindiness, citrus zest, more of that grapefruit, I would say more of a grapefruit-like zest in the beginning of the middle, there before that intense alpha oil bitterness kicks in. In the lasting finish, a lot of that citrus rind still remains on the tongue, as well as that sort of bitter bite. I'm going to have to say, I'm going to have to go with what I said in the original review, though I'm going to say that it's not as bad as I was emphasizing in the original review, that this is a little bit too much on the hoppy side for me. In that all the sort of delicate nuances of the hops are just sort of wiped out by the intense bitterness that just lasts and lasts and lasts. It's one of those tongue-scorching kind of hops that just bombs your palate. On the good side, not very boozy for the 7.5 ABV, just a slight amount of booziness. So, it's well made, but in my opinion, not very well balanced. The hops are just too overwhelming. You're left with the bitterness that lasts and lasts and lasts, and unless you're eating something or constantly cleaning your palate, that finish is going to go and define your entire drink. Your palate is just coated with that alpha oil bitterness. Which means this is probably very good if you're trying to go and wipe out spiciness on your palate, but if you're just wanting to go and, that pepper spice, if you're just wanting to go and taste a beer, which is really sad, because when I drink it, all these nice things are floating up into my nostrils, making the sort of for a very interesting effervescent note before, boom, sort of bitter wallop lands on my tongue. It's just that even though that the malting is pretty thick on this, and you can taste the malting, especially in the beginning, it is just not up to the task of this hopping. Hopping is just overwhelming for me. And this might be what a hophead is looking for, but I like balance, and I like being able to, taste the nuances of something that's supposed to have a lot of nuances. There was a lot of hops used in this, high-quality Yakima hops done in various different ways, and this shows through. You can see, in the beginning, when you're drinking it, you can kind of taste the sort of, delicacies, nuances, kind of showing its way in a multidimensional manner, and then, boom, bittering hits in. And the bittering lasts and lasts. Even though I'm talking and talking right now, it's still on my tongue. I like it to clear I like that bitterness to clear within about 5 to 10 seconds. So when I go back to the beer, I can go and have a clean start, where the front kind of pops into view again. And it's there. You have to wait maybe about a minute or so, but it's there. You get that delightfully nuanced front before you get that sort of wallop. Again, I'm being kind of hard ass in these reviews because it is beer can, because these are great brewers brought together to go and create sort of a collaborative essence of the brewer's art. This is supposed to be top of the line beer. These are supposed to be the best makers in the world, kind of coming together under one umbrella of the largest craft brewer, well, second largest craft brewer in the United States, to kind of go and experiment and, push the limits. Well, this one kind of pushes the limits in a direction that's not to my taste. It may not be to your taste, but I know there are people out there who like that. So if you like having your palate nuked with hop bitterness, this is your beer. If you're like me and you want that hop bitterness to be balanced by malt complexity and sort of, the more aromatic aspects of the hopping to have more of a play than just in the bouquet, well, probably not your cup of tea. So, Moxie Moron Imperial Session IPA, not my wheelhouse, might be someone else's. That's your beer review for tonight, folks. Cheers.